Hey guys, it's Meg and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you some June bullet journal theme ideas, and let's just get into it. So June theme idea number 1 is going to be inspired by Pride, as June is Pride month. So I thought I would just do quite a simple design that anyone can copy quite easily, and it's going to be the rainbow flag. I've tried to make the flag look a little bit realistic by adding a bit of a curve to it and making it look like it's blowing in the breeze, and this took me a little while just to figure out exactly how to make it look as realistic as possible, but just a key point to remember is make the top of the outline and the bottom of the outline go in the same direction. So if it's going up a little bit, make sure the bottom one is also going up in the same direction and down at the same time. And this will just help give it that realistic blowing in the breeze kind of look. I then decided to write June in the middle of the flag. You could try and make this go with the bending of the flag, but I thought that might be a little bit too tricky, and this kind of helps the letters stand out. So I just made them quite simple, bubble writing style, and I decided to leave them white. However, you can colour those in as well if you'd like to. I also put the hello at the top, as that's what I normally like to do, make it hello and then the month, hello May, hello June. I just think it's cute and saying hello to the new month. But anyway, I have used a slightly thicker fine liner for drawing the outlines of the flag and the letters, just to make it bold and be able to see the outlines against all the bright colours we've got going on. And then I'm just filling it in with my Crayola Super Tips to colour in the colours of the pride flag. So we've got red at the top, then orange, yellow, green, blue and then purple. And there are so many other LGBTQ+ flags that you could do if you've got one that relates more to you, but I went with the rainbow one as that is the most well known and thought this might be one that people would like to copy. But as we all know, colouring with felt tip pens can sometimes look a little bit messy, so my best tip to avoid anything looking messy or streaky is to just colour the lines in the same direction as much as possible. I tend to go around the edge with the pen first, just so I've got a bit of a thicker border for me to not go outside the lines, and then I try to colour with up and down strokes just to keep all the lines the same, so at least if you can see the lines, they're not looking a big mess. I then added a little bit of shadow behind where the flag would bend around in the wind, and had some colourful stars and hearts in the background in the same rainbow colours, and that's June theme idea number 1 complete. Theme idea number 2 is something a little bit different, and I've not actually tried it out before, but I had the idea of an ice cream that was kind of melting, and then the melted part of the ice cream formed the title for June, and it actually turns out really well, so keep on watching. I wanted to make an ice cream because obviously June, we're getting into those summer months, especially where I live near the sea, so everyone's getting ice creams around this time down at the beach, and I thought this would make a really cute and colourful theme idea. So I just did quite a simple ice cream shape, and little disclaimer, I do always do these themes out in pencil first, but because it doesn't show up very well on the video camera, I just tend to do that off screen. But yes, I definitely do it in pencil first, and I went for blobs kind of shape around the top of the ice cream, and it doesn't matter if these aren't particularly perfect, it kind of adds to the melting aspect of the ice cream, and just make some big teardrop shapes coming down at the bottom to show the dripping ice cream. I also added in a flake and a cherry on the top, and I chose to make this one a strawberry ice cream because I wanted it to be nice bright pink, but if you prefer chocolate you could do a brown one. If you like vanilla you can make it like a pale yellow. Truly make it your own. You could even do bubblegum and have it bright blue, that would be really cool. But I thought this would be quite an easy one for people to do, and it looks very eye-catching, but it's also one that can be really made your own. So for the lettering, I just did bubble writing first off, just to write June, and then I went around each of the letters once I'd already penciled them out with some kind of wobbly lines to make it look like ice cream, and just adding in a few drips here and there. And then once you add in your colour, it really ties in well with the ice cream look. As always, I try to add some highlights and lowlights with my colouring just to give it a bit more of a realistic cartoony look, and I think with the ice cream that works really well. So for this I went in with a lighter pink, almost a peachy colour for the highlights, and just put those where I thought the light would hit it. Then the main part was in this predominant pink you can see, and then I just used a slightly darker pink where I thought all the shadows would be, so they tend to be on the opposite side of where the highlights might be, and I just think the look overall is really good. And you can't go wrong with a few sprinkles, so I added in some blue, pink and yellow sprinkles around the background just to liven up the page, and that is June theme idea number 2, all complete. So for the next June theme idea, I wanted to make sure I included a more minimalist and simple one, just because the other themes this time are a bit more bright and colourful. I thought I would include a simple line, more delicate one for people who maybe aren't quite so into the bright bold colours. So for this one I've gone with flowers and bumblebees and butterflies, just a simple pretty one, really easy to draw as well. I've got a vase in the middle which is just kind of a thicker shape at the bottom and it goes thinner at the top, and then some simple flowers and a few little leaves coming out of the vase and just simple straight lines down into the vase to create the stem. And I've then got a little banner across the bottom, and in there I'm writing Hello June as the kind of title. And then I wanted to include the butterflies and bumblebees, just so there's something happening around the page and it still keeps it nice and minimalist and simple and delicate and really pretty. So I hope you like this one if this is a bit more your style. And then in terms of colours, I decided to go with blues and purples predominantly. Obviously I then decided to include a few other colours for the flowers, but this is part of the fun, you can make it your own. If you'd like this to be just black and white, you can definitely do that. If pink's more your colour, then go for that. This is just what I had in mind when I thought of this theme. So I used the kind of lilac-y, dark lilac purple for the banner, and I then, as I always say, try to balance out the colours as I use them. So I used purple in the banner and then I used it in some of the flowers. I then used a turquoisey blue for the vase and used that in some of the butterflies, and then I used a darker blue which I also used for some butterflies and for some of the flowers. I then had a little bit of a highlight colour as the pink, which has gone in the centre of some of the flowers, and I also included some dots around the flowers to kind of look like that summer haze that you get and the pollen coming off the flowers, which I thought was really sweet. I then finished off by going over the lettering in the banner, and that is June theme idea number 3, all complete. And then the final theme idea I'm going to show you this time is one that's a little bit inspired by Amanda H. Lee's July theme from last year, 2021. But as I said before, I live near the sea, so I thought a seaside theme would be perfect. So I started off with a simple lighthouse shape, which is really easy to draw. I just drew on a few little windows as well for decoration. I then made some crooked lines down in the bottom left to make it look like the lighthouse was on some rocks. And then I wanted some little ocean creatures at the top just to decorate the page, but I've also got an oceany bit down in the bottom right hand corner with a cute little whale down there just because I really liked him and I wanted to include it. But with these little ocean creatures I'm including at the top, you can definitely change those up to suit you. If you'd like to have more of a seashell type of theme, you could have different shells up there. I included a starfish, jellyfish, a shell, a fish and an octopus just because I wanted some variety and to add to the whole ocean theme. And then I went ahead and coloured in the lighthouse using a kind of orangey red, and I used the light shining from the lighthouse to shine onto the lettering for June. I just thought this would help make it stand out because this is quite a busy and colourful theme, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So just choose some colours that you prefer to work with, but I had a certain colour palette in mind. It was kind of these orange and blues, and I've also included some pinks and purples as highlight colours. And then I coloured in all of the rocks and the oceans at the bottom. Because this was going to be quite a lot of colouring, I tried to make sure I was colouring in the same direction just so it wasn't too scratchy looking with all the lines. And I also used a slightly lighter colour grey than maybe rocks would be, but I just didn't want it to have a really dark patch of grey down at the bottom, so it would distract from the rest of what's going on in the image. So using the light grey and then going over the top in a few areas to create some shadow really worked well for this one. I then just added some blue dots around the waves to make it look like they were crashing against the rocks, and that's June theme idea number 4 all complete. And that is it for this month's theme ideas. I really hope you like one of them and maybe you're going to try it out. We've got the Rainbow Pride theme, the ice cream theme, the flowers, bees and butterflies, and then we finished off with the seaside theme. So don't forget to let me know down below which one was your favourite. Thank you all so much for watching. Special thanks goes to this week's subscriber shout out. Thank you so much Ashley for all your support and lovely comments on my channel. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I next upload, and I'll see you in the next one.